Hi, I'm Mark Majors. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Gaia Ag. We're a young company that has developed a methodology to take agricultural waste and turn it into products that will revolutionize the $500 billion paper industry while delivering substantial financial results, incredible growth potential, and the best ESG story in the industry by far. We've created a cellulosic pulp that makes paper stronger, costs less than virgin fiber, and can be used by virtually any paper factory anywhere in the world. My entire professional life, I've been dealing with packaging and cartons. I have purchased, sold, designed, and engineered them for nearly 30 years. I've recently struggled with fiber shortages and rapidly declining pulp quality as the world's e-commerce growth puts a strain on supplies of high-quality pulp fiber. More than ever, the world's relying on forest products to protect and transport the goods we all consume, with a robust growth rate in the United States and even more so in developing countries in e-commerce packaging. Corrugated packaging makes up nearly $200 billion a year in annual sales, and has grown at a very robust rate as direct-to-consumer packaging and distribution reshapes the retail and wholesale landscape. There's currently a shortage of strong fiber in the world. Despite the global economic slowdown, that shortage will do nothing but get worse as the world emerges from it. About 7 years ago, I was asked to work on a project by a dairy cooperative in Wisconsin. They asked us to help them create new ways to help their farmer partners find outlets for their manure solids. In a period of 3 months, we created stuffing tissue, molded pulp, formed products, even an injected plastic that was 25% cellulose. It was the start of a project that would lead us to where we are today. As that project ended, Gaia Ag built upon this momentum by recognizing two key things. One, there was an existing and worsening shortage of fiber suitable for making boxes in the world. And two, we had access to tens of millions of tons of it that nobody wants. Over the next several years, our focus shifted to a way to identify the best possible fiber source for making pulp products with a core focus on making brown kraft paper. We defined the best material sources, developed collection and distribution efficiencies, and we created a methodology to turn ag waste into high-quality pulp while using a small fraction of the energy, water, and chemicals needed for wood. Last December, after 100 successful trials and production tests at the leading U.S. University for Paper Sciences and at 3 very well-respected paper companies, we filed for a patent on our process. In developing our process, we worked backwards, knowing what we wanted to accomplish, and then working the science and methods into the narrative, ending up with a unique way to process non-wood fiber so that we bring out the natural strength and binding properties of pulp. In doing so, we found that we enhanced the performance of wood-based fibers in every relevant strength category, including tensile strength, crush resistance, and burst strength. We also do so without producing any toxic wastewater discharge and can use up to 90% less energy, water, and chemicals in the process of making our pulp. Our next step is to process an expanded trial of several hundred raw tons of fiber in order to create scale size tests for some of the leading paper mills, box converters, and consumer brands in the world. Our expectation is that with the trials we conduct, we can prove a massive improvement in carton strength while making boxes lighter simultaneously. That should lower both the box cost and transportation cost associated with packaging. Our intention is to come out of these trials with large multi-year letters of intent and offtake agreements from mills, converters, and end-use brands alike. That will springboard our Series B capital raise to help us open several new large-scale production sites located advantageously near to the mills who are committing to our fiber. So what makes our product different from other types of fiber? First, everything we make is made from agricultural waste. It's stubble, bales, and even animal waste solids. Nothing we use is for human consumption. In the regions where we collect, none of it's even in use for animal feed. We can give farmers a way to avoid disking their fields to turn stubble and instead make secondary revenues off the same initial crop. Second, we have a very unique process that has been designed at every step of the way to be the cleanest, most efficient way in the world for making pulp. We can be completely powered by renewable energy, and our net wastewater production represents a more than 95% reduction in output versus a virgin mill, and none of our water is toxic. 3, our product is simply an additive, meaning that it's designed to enhance, not to replace, wood fiber paper. Wood is and likely always will dominate the paper industry. We can be used by virtually any mill in the world to replace virgin fiber without sacrificing strength, and we can replace recycled pulp with a lot smaller amount of our fiber and in most cases dramatically improve carton performance. We don't need mills to invest in any new capital assets in order to get the benefits we deliver. 4. Our fiber can be shipped in dense loads, safe and strong without wasted space compared to traditional rolls of pulp. In doing so, we make it cheaper and easier to deal with for the paper mills and to even let us supply foreign markets in a controlled, affordable manner. Lastly, our product's natural strengthening allows mills to eliminate very expensive chemical stiffeners and use higher percentages of recycled paper. Ultimately, we hope to cut in half the number of virgin trees needed to harvest to make boxes every year while eliminating the need for any chemical stiffeners. Our processing for pulp has clearly identified benefits, but we also need to address our waste streams. Like any manufacturing process, we're going to generate materials that are not suitable for making our core pulp product. Most companies pay to truck away to landfill or even incinerate their waste. We've been able to show ways to achieve a net zero waste by creating various byproducts with proven market value and demand. I'll share with you now just a few of those products that we're going to create from that waste to improve our enterprise value, our shareholder return, and attain the most sustainable efficiency possible. First, we're going to create biomass pellets to fuel our own boilers for energy, but we're also going to be able to sell these to external markets for renewable energy production. 2, we're going to be a world-class source for organic fertilizer with soil-improving additives and nutrients that we can easily add in a shelf-stable and compact format. 3rd, we've already created various forms of molded pulp items to replace styrofoam for protective packaging. This is the packaging within the package in many cases, and it's an ideal fit. 4th, our fiber is a natural fit for construction materials, as additives for drywall, concrete board, as well as to forming things like natural shims and even concrete forms. And lastly, we're going to work with many parties to replace newsprint for things like hydro seeding and other lawn and garden applications. Lastly, I want to talk to you briefly about an aspect of our company that's getting a lot of attention. I'm talking now about carbon credits. In case you're not familiar with carbon credits, to put it as simply as I can, it's a type of tradable license or permit for a company to produce CO2 emissions. Companies must estimate and measure their emissions and then purchase a license to create that pollution. There's a market that exists for companies who don't pollute as much as they're expected to, where they can sell those excess credits to companies that need them. They can sell at a discount to the government's cost, still making a great profit, but saving the buyers significant money in return. And while this is a well-established market and practice in the EU, it's a newer concept here in the United States, but it's rapidly catching on as we race to reverse the effects of carbon pollution in our atmosphere and water. A lot of the places that can be analyzed and verified to create carbon credits are in the agricultural sector. Things like soil management techniques, manure solids management, methane elimination and sequestration, water protection and retention, reforestation, planting cover crops, etc. In the manufacturing process, things like creating and using bioenergy or renewable energy, emissions controls all the way through the product life cycle, so that if we can save pollution by shipping millions of fewer pounds of cargo or using rail versus truck, eliminating extra packaging, all of those things create a touch point with varying values based upon the net overall benefit. Gaia Ag touches no fewer than a dozen of these various points in the carbon credit universe. Our model is built to use waste, eliminate pollution, provide regionally centralized collection and management points. What our model brings to the carbon credit universe and makes it so exciting is that we're going to be replicating these highly engaged sites all through the heartland and other areas where we have abundant feedstock availability. Our model will make what we expect to be dozens of sites throughout North America and eventually the world, each with substantial earnings potential and residual revenues. It's been a bit of a journey to get to this point. We started off talking about a pulp product that can replace virgin tree fiber and stiffening chemicals to meet the world's growing shortage of quality fiber for cartons. We talked about how our commitment to a zero waste strategy offers us new revenue and income streams as we work to utilize our own manufacturing waste in new profitable ventures. We finally talked about the carbon credits and how we're still modeling all the different touch points and how to monetize what that looks like. But for now, we just know that it's a very substantial and very unmodeled opportunity. We're in the final stages of our Series A equity raise. We're looking to raise another $8 million, and we're excited about the opportunity that this represents in both investor returns, enterprise growth, and the real quantifiable impact we're going to have in social and environmental goals with this company. We're looking for investors that share our passion about this opportunity and are looking for an above average return while finding a way to make a difference in the world. We have materials prepared. We are only submitting these through our existing network of advisors. So if this is something that meets your own investor goals, your personal objectives, and your values, let them know. We'll schedule any Zoom meeting you need, any emails, share any presentation decks about our team and the opportunity. I really hope we have a chance to meet. And in the meantime, I really thank you for your time and investment in us today. Thank you. For Gaia Ag, I'm Mark Majors.